Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed all grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thy every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed all grace on thee, and crown thy good in sisterhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed all grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. To shining sea. Shining sea.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. I'm delighted to see you here, and I'm delighted to see our audience virtually. It's a great thing to do this where we can include both the community that's here together and the larger community that can be anywhere and can still be with us. It's kind of a good illustration of our oneness. I'm Reverend Neil Worthington, and I would like you to join with me in prayer as we begin our service this morning at Unity of Payson. God of all goodness, we cannot help but be grateful. We waken in the morning to gratitude. Here in Payson, we waken with gratitude for the rain that nourishes us, that
Here in
cools
Payson,
us. Rick, we're muted here. Rick, this is muted. Virtual people are not hearing us. Rick, we're muted here. Okay, looks like we're good now. Virtual people are not hearing us. Rick, we're muted here. Looks like we're good now. Virtual people are not hearing us. Rick, we're muted here. Somehow we're in a loop. We're going to try to get out of it. Virtual people are not hearing us. Rick, we're muted here. Somehow we're in a loop. We're going to try to get out of it. Virtual people are not hearing us. We were trying to pray. I guess we're really praying with great intensity because it's going around and around and around. We were trying to pray. I guess we're really praying with great intensity because it's going around and around and around. We were trying to Tom, if you have a recording on, let's turn that off. We just won't have that this morning. We have the Facebook Live. So Tom, if you have a recording on, let's turn that off. We're working on our, we just won't have that this morning. On our technology. Calling in the tech experts.
So when he's talking, keep it turned down.
Yeah, I did, but that's when then they said they weren't hearing it.
So would someone on the virtual side tell me if you're hearing this?
I can hear you now.
I hear you.
Are you hearing
I
us?
hear you, Neil.
I
Betty.
think it's the link to Facebook Live. You may have to stop it. I can hear you now.
I hear you.
Are you hearing
I
us?
hear you, Neil.
Okay, let's
I
Betty.
think it's the link to Facebook Live. You may have to stop it. I can hear you now.
where it says
I hear
Facebook
you.
Live,
I
stop
hear
it.
you, Neil.
Okay, let's
I
Betty.
think it's the link to Facebook Live. You may have to stop it. I can hear you now.
where it says
We're
we're in
Facebook
some
Live.
kind of a time over here.
It went back again. It was good and now it's looping
Okay.
again.
So we're going to go on trusting that all is well and that the technology you're learning that we have yet to do is rushing our way. So again, we pray in gratitude for the rain, for this community of Payson, for our state, and for our country. Today, we are especially grateful on this Independence Day. What beats within us is the desire for truth. Our hearts open for the message of truth, knowing that, yes, we hear it and we resonate with it, but sometimes it just wells up from within us. And we know that this truth that is ours makes us free. And we are grateful. We affirm that we listen to each other. We affirm that we know, that inner knowing, that connection between heart and mind allows us an inner knowing. And we affirm that we use the ability we're given to understand so that we have understanding, that pure and divine knowing. So we are grateful for all these things, and we bless everyone who has joined us this morning. We bless those who are across the country in different places. We bless those who have joined us here in the Sawmill Theater, the Sunday morning home of Unity of Payson now. We are so grateful for the unfolding of our spiritual community. And we give gratitude in advance for its growth and its vitality and its prosperity. We're grateful for Betty Bennett, who has joined us and will have a message for us later in the service. Again, we're grateful for every heart who has joined with us at this time or in a recording at a later time. We are so grateful. And so it is.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. Everybody here in person and everybody online. We're really glad that you could be here with us this morning. And if you are new to our community, please go to unityofpayson.org and leave us your contact information so that we can connect with you and send you out the weekly email of all the wonderful stuff that is going on here. We have lots of activities going on, some online, some in person. And so let's say our blessing to everyone together. We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And our opening song, Swing Wide the Doors. And in person, you are free to sing. I'm gonna try my hand at tambourine and see if I can remember that.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide
We're grateful that we still can sing and can still do the tambourine. So we're grateful for a lot of things, as even if we have challenges with the technology still, we are grateful for it. And we are grateful for all the activities we've had this week. We had, of course, our morning cafe every day this week, except Sunday. So we added Saturday in case any of you wanted to tune into that. And of course, we had our Intender Circle every Thursday. And Neil's new class, the Gospel of Thomas. And that's led by Greg. I'm trying to remember his last name. Awesome class. And we're grateful for all of you. So unity is grounded in affirmative prayer and in meditation. We have trained prayer chaplains, and I see a bunch of us here today. 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. So if you have a prayer concern, please don't hesitate to tap us on the shoulder. We'd be more than happy to sit with you in prayer. We hold the prayers sacred and confidential for 30 days, and then they get sent on to Silent Unity, where they're held for another 30 days. If you would like prayer support during the week, you can call 928-235-7142, the number on the slide, or you can go to the website, unityofpayson.org, leave your contact information if you would like one of us to speak with you directly. So please don't hesitate. And our theme for this month is understanding. Well, they might catch up. And the affirmation is, with spiritual understanding, I know everything is unfolding for my highest good. And our speaker today is Betty Bennett, licensed Unity teacher, and her talk title is Imagining a New Beginning with Understanding. Licensed Unity teacher Betty Bennett is a transformational life coach, inspirational speaker, and an experienced group facilitator and trainer. Her mission is to live from the inside out, to spend every day in gratitude, and to serve wherever spirit may lead. And she certainly does that. And now for our metaphysical moment. We are committed to learning truth. So truth transcends our physical experience of life and of our world. Please join with me as we consider this expression of truth. And of course, befittingly today of all days, the word is freedom. In thought, word, and action, I celebrate my freedom. There are many ways to feel free. I may work hard to become financially free. I may plan trips so I can freely explore the world. I may commit to learning for intellectual freedom, or exercise my body for greater freedom of movement. Even as I do my work in the world to know freedom, I remember I am always free at the level of spirit. No situation or circumstance has power over me. Every day and in every area of my life, I live from my divine nature, where I am wholly and completely free. Through my inner powers of understanding and faith, I recognize and embrace empowering beliefs. My spiritual gifts of strength and release keep me on course and help me free myself from habits that derail my spiritual growth. And I changed the quote. I found one from Buddha. No one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. When we know this, we become truly free. And I think this is one of the most powerful things you can ever learn in life. It's a sort of a basis for everything, all the other growth areas of our life, is that you realize that you have control over how you're going to perceive all of those outside situations. Some of them are very tough. And in the moment, you may be triggered. But we know in this community, we support this belief. And we know it's the truth, that we can stop, we can choose to go inside, contact spirit, and choose to be different, react differently to the outside world. And like the Buddha says, that is true freedom. Freedom to have your life show up the way that you choose, the way that you intend, especially on this day of freedom. Let's all remember that we spiritually are free. And being the first Sunday, we have our mission and vision statements. If we'll give Tom just a minute. There seems to be a little bit of a lag time on slides this morning. If not, we'll do call and response. Ah, there they are. And so let's say our mission statement together. We are a welcoming and open-hearted community, inspiring each other to live in love, joy, and service. And our vision statement. Together, we enrich our world through spirit-centered service, positive human connections, and stewardship of all creation. Creation being our force, yay for the rain. So, and we will now have our message from our speaker, Betty Bennett. And we will now have our message from our speaker, Betty Bennett. We will now have our message from our speaker.
Good. Oh, I think we're on a loop again. I'm hearing Betty daily over and over again.
Try it now, Betty.
Okay, so I am happy to be here. This is so interesting. I have never, so am I on the screen? The big screen? I
Yes.
thought that was what was going to happen. So I was.
You're on.
Yeah. Okay. So I have never had that. Okay. Thanks. I have never had that happen before, have be on a big screen anywhere. So that's a new experience for me. So we are continuing focusing on the 12 spiritual powers adopted by Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore. And today I'm doing something just a little different. I'm linking two of the powers and looking at the way they might work together. The truth is, we're never using just one spiritual power at a time. Ideally, we're frequently calling upon several at the same time to assist us along our spiritual path. So in June, your theme was the spiritual power of imagination. And this month, it is the power of understanding. And originally, I was scheduled to speak in June on the 27th, which was last Sunday. And the title of my talk was to be Imagine a New Beginning. But the technical difficulties a couple of weeks before that postponed Reverend Neil's ordination. By the way, congratulations, Reverend Neil. And it postponed his ordination to the 27th. And so my talk was moved to today. So that put us into a whole new month. And so rather than waste a good talk, I thought it would work just fine to blend the two spiritual powers into one talk. So I changed my title to Imagine a New Beginning with Understanding. Then in one last little twist in my thinking, I realized there was another way to look at this, and that was to imagine a new beginning of understanding. So hold on to your hat, because we're going to attempt to tackle all these angles today and still get you out of here within a reasonable amount of time. So it definitely seems appropriate right now to start by looking at new beginnings. Since many of us are feeling like it's really a new beginning after a year and a half of things not being what we're used to, many of us working from home or isolating to stay safe and healthy, not being able to attend church in person or just go to our favorite restaurant for a bite to eat, and many of the stores and businesses being closed or offering only delivery or curbside pickup. So now we are beginning to do some of these things again, to see our friends and loved ones, to get hugs from places they weren't available before. And whether we were willing participants in the change or not, almost no one can deny that we are about to embark on what could certainly be another new beginning. New beginnings can be exciting, right? Everything new, a new adventure. But sometimes new beginnings are daunting too, because as human beings, we tend to want to know every step that is ahead. And frankly, most beginnings do not provide that kind of information. When that door behind us closes, sometimes it slams and sometimes it just creaks slowly shut. But however change comes, it's inevitable. And in spiritual terms, it's sometimes called impermanence, and it's here to stay. And the good news, I believe, is that change ushers in a time of pure potential for a new beginning of your own choosing and your own creation. A new beginning is actually a time of unlearning things. You have to unlearn who you were in the former circumstances and start to learn who you will be in this new normal. I think this may be especially true for us right now. In March of 2020, and I assume you also, watched the entire world, I mean, the entire world change overnight. We were suddenly doing and being things we had never done nor been before. And this was true for pretty much everyone around us. It was a really surreal time. And I called it the Great Reveal because it seemed to me to be a time when absolutely everything that needed any kind of healing showed up to be healed, all at the same time. Whether it was our socioeconomic construct, our healthcare system, our education system, or our cultural infrastructure, even the circumstances of nature, everything seemed to be opened up, wholly torn apart, and every atom examined. In the midst of it all, I looked for familiar things that I thought I knew about change. Like in Ecclesiastes 3:1, which says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." And Eric Butterworth, in his book In the Flow of Life, said, like the manna from heaven that the Israelites were blessed with in their wilderness experience, today's good is for today, to be used and then loosed. This is the continuing process of the flow of life. We felt this as we saw things disappear from shelves, and then shelves and entire stores disappeared before our eyes. But the truth is, we are all living in an eternal now. Actually, every day, every moment is a new beginning. How do we cope with this constant newness? Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said, "It must be that the old molds of the mortal mind and the ideas that belong to it need to be remodeled. And the remedy is be transformed by the renewal of your mind," which is a quote from Romans 12:2, which just happens to be my favorite Bible verse. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. So in March of 2020, there was a very uncertain new beginning. We had no idea where it would take us, for how long, and we didn't know what we'd be like when it passed. And now it seems we've done all that, or we're beginning to feel that. And there is another new beginning. It feels a bit more ready for us to mold this new beginning, to have a bit more control over our own life. But I would suggest we not get too attached, but rather to imagine and build a new beginning from a place of spiritual understanding, from the place of an eternal now. We would be wise to remember that even though it might feel like we can go back to normal now, that things will most likely look and be somewhat different from what they were before this time of unusual isolation. This may look like a really new beginning in very many ways. So the first thing I think we may want to consider in imagining this new beginning is to use plenty of our power of spiritual understanding. And that's more than just knowledge. William March, who wrote Your 12 Gifts from God, says that spiritual understanding is more than impulses moving through your brain. It is spirit in action, divine energy pouring through your consciousness as understanding. He says understanding is knowing with your heart. You can have all the facts, and they may be true, but they are not the truth with a capital T. There is only one power and presence in the universe, and it stands under all things. To know this is to have spiritual understanding. So imagining a new beginning with understanding is about accessing our divine call within. That place where in God we live and move and have our being, as it says in Acts 17. And imagining a new beginning of spiritual understanding is an even bigger call. It's about oneness with our inner self, with our source, and with others. One of Unity's basic principles says our very essence is of God, a divine spark in every human being. So we explore the path that calls us to love and to oneness with God. If it's true for one of us, it's true for all of us. So as we're imagining this wonderful new beginning, and I do expect us to imagine a wonderful new beginning, what's the point of imagining anything else? As we imagine the wonderful new beginning, it will be both with and of spiritual understanding. And what will that look like? Well, let's see if we can imagine it. In his book, Unity of All Life, Eric Butterworth, by the way, published Unity of All Life in 1969, which was another historic year of tremendous, unprecedented things. In Unity of All Life, Butterworth says, we cannot deny the near cataclysmic crises in our world, savage wars, the inequalities of people, the increase of violence and protests, the unrest among young people. We can, however, deny that they tell the whole story. There's an inmost center in us and in the world, an inmost center where there is order and peace and a dynamic potentiality for good. When we know this, we know life as a whole. and not simply as a partial experience. So when we know this order and peace and potential for good that lives at our core, then we have understanding, spiritual understanding. And we can use this understanding in everything we think, do, and are, including in imagining a new beginning. So I'm here to say today that the more we imagine our new beginning as a beginning filled with understanding, and we do our imagining with the power of spiritual understanding, we're more likely to create the best, most positive new beginning for ourselves and others. We can create that new life that has a place for healing all of that has shown up to be healed. Life coach and author Mark Chernoff says that with regard to new beginnings, there's a big difference between just giving up on everything or starting over in the right direction. And you can do this by starting to use the words from now on. So in order to build a new beginning with plenty of understanding, from now on, let go of the things that you can't control. Most things are only part of your life because you keep thinking about them. Don't let the things that are out of control interfere with what you can control. And by the way, one of the things we most definitely can't control are other people's beliefs and decisions. From now on, accept and embrace reality. Remember this simple principle. Everything happens for you, not to you. And everything happens at exactly the right moment. In unity, we call that divine order. So stop holding on to what hurts, to what you don't want. Make room for joy and rejoicing. It's your choice. Stop being mad at others because they don't think like you do, or because they may seem different in some case than you thought they were. Remember who we all are with our divine spark within. From now on, change your mind. In reality, the only thing you can truly count on is change. So the best thing you can do for yourself in this changing world is to prepare for the new. Allow the unknown in your life. Accept a fresh perspective, even about other people and their beliefs. Allow all kinds of diversity around you. Seek to understand first and then to be understood. Growth is impossible without change. Endings foster change, and new beginnings come from endings. So open up to the new perspective. From now on, hold tight to the good things. There's a saying that when you find you've dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. Instead, use that energy you have to reach out and pull something good in with you. Focus on the positive, basic principles in your life. Love, joy, gratitude for what you have, forgiveness. This will provide the light you need to put yourself on the right path and pull yourself up from that dark place. From now on, rest and regroup. Sometimes we do our best and end up with a mess anyway, right? When this happens, don't give up. You haven't failed. You just learned what not to do. So just rest, regroup, and begin again with this new information and experience. From now on, take chances. Trying something new can be scary, but the truth is, most of our fears are much bigger in our minds than they are in reality. In fact, most of the things we fear just never happen. So don't let them stop you. Live your life so you don't have to regret the chances you never took, the love you never let in, or the gifts you never gave away. From now on, keep climbing. Any person who gets to the top of their metaphorical mountain didn't get there by falling out of the sky. You gain confidence with every experience you push yourself to do, especially those you thought maybe you couldn't do. From now on, appreciate what you've learned. Don't regret your life, even the moments that were filled with pain. Appreciate what you learned from it and that you had the strength to move through it. Get used to asking, what am I supposed to learn from this? In the end, how you got through the obstacles is what defines you and makes you the person you are today. And finally, from now on, excuse me, realize that every step is necessary. Nothing that happens to you is ever wrong. We learn from every single step we take on our journey. What you did today is necessary for the next step tomorrow and for that new beginning you're about to embark upon. Most of the time, we don't pick our endings. This is the great risk of being a human being, as well as the great adventure. The fact that we don't get to choose so many things. And no matter how good our intentions to eat healthier food, improve our relationships, break that bad habit, or change that part of our life we're not so fond of, we ultimately are not in charge of every detail of our lives. So it takes a great deal of faith to put in the effort to create a new beginning, which is often messy, with stops and starts and second thoughts. It would be easier a lot of times to just patch up something that is already there, but then that wouldn't be a new beginning, would it? And I just wanted to share with you that new beginnings aren't always as much fun as we thought they'd be right away. For instance, I'll use myself as an example right now. I thought once we started to go out and get together with our loved ones and friends and start doing things and going to restaurants and being able to choose and do what we want, life would be grand. And it is basically. I'm not complaining about that. That's wonderful. And I have enjoyed getting back out and doing things. But what surprised me is I actually enjoyed not having to do some things. There was a built-in excuse for not doing certain things in my life. I won't go into detail, but there were things that, I do because I'm supposed to, and it's what I'm meant to do at a certain time. And when I was released of those things during this time of isolation, I was really happy about that. And now I realize some of those things are popping back up and I don't really want to do them. So I'm experiencing resistance here. And it's not, I just want you to know it's not unusual to feel overwhelmed or anxious at the beginning of a new thing. The change surrounding it can be unpredictable and it can bring on fear and depression. But I want you to know that you're normal. It's okay to feel less than confident about what comes next and not quite as excited as you thought you were going to be. Change isn't easy. Even when it's what we thought we wanted and it's really good for us. It's great to remember that change is part of life, natural, normal, and good for us. It's what makes us grow and not get bored. Rebirth and change are necessary. The clinical definition, I'm told, of death is cessation of change. The good news is, if you're in a really bad place right now, change is coming. And another thing to remember is that if you're in a really good place right now, change is coming. So soak up the good. Don't take it for granted because no season lasts forever. And just in case that from now on list wasn't enough, here are 3 more things to remember about new beginnings. First, you're not starting with nothing. You come to this place in your life with volumes of knowledge, experience, research, understanding, personality, and beliefs. You're starting with the most important thing of all, and that's you. Second, remember, nobody knows exactly where to begin when they start over somewhere new. It might seem like everyone you know has incredible clarity or of purpose while you're floundering about just getting ready to take that first step, but it just isn't true. The truth is, we are all just doing our best. Everyone has a story about feeling around in the dark. No one gets clarity without working for it. And third, there's no rush. There's no need to be frantic. You're not running out of time. There's no deadline on starting over and beginning again, and there's no limit on beginnings again. On the other hand, sitting around twiddling your thumbs doesn't produce much growth because those opportunities don't tend to just knock on the door. So here's a good, simple life plan. You have everything you need to begin. So start where you are. Actually, you can't start anywhere else. Use what you have. Don't run out gathering up a bunch of stuff together. Just start with what you already have and get going. And do what you can. We expect way too much of ourselves. We're perfectionists, but who has the perfect life? Anyone you know? I didn't think so, me either. You can only do your best. So do that. No more, no less. And stop beating yourself up. At the end of the day, no matter where you go in life, no matter what changes, and no matter how many new beginnings, the factor that stays the same in the equation is you. Amidst all the unpredictability is the core you, the person you are at your center with all the love, joy, peace, and understanding of spirit that is always there to access. You bring it with you to the new beginning, the unchangeable, absolute part of you, that spark of divinity, the spiritual understanding within makes every journey, tries every new task, shows up for you, making this new beginning once again a rebirth of Christ consciousness and an opportunity to embrace more God in our lives with the new beginning of each and every day. Thank you. Now, let's prepare for meditation as we listen to the meditation song.
I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now.
living, loving spirit, we come now seeking understanding. We know that at our core is the potential for everything good. We know that it's all there, just waiting for us to claim it. We want understanding. We want to know. We want to be filled with spirit. We want to have the best that God has to offer us. And we know that this comes with spiritual understanding. So we open our hearts and our minds to all the goodness and joy and peace and love and every bit of understanding that's allowed us as children of God. We're ready to carry that understanding with us wherever we go, using it wisely, cherishing it, knowing that it truly is our spiritual power. Understanding will change our lives. It will change our world. And so we fully accept it today. And we're so grateful. And so it is. Amen.
I don't know if we've lost the other end or not. Betty, you need to unmute.
Tom, you mean Betty Daly, right?
Yeah.
You're still muted.
He's giving me little hand signals. Let's see. Okay, they're still trying. So, oh, why don't you come a little closer here? So we bless the givers and the gifts as they move out into the community. Let's charge them up. And our dedication, I'll do call and response. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies
Blesses and multiplies.
all that we have,
What we have,
all that we give,
all that we give,
and all that we receive.
and all that we receive.
We are abundantly prosperous
We are abundantly prosperous,
and we give thanks.
and we give thanks.
Thank you, everybody. And so next Sunday, we continue on with our theme of understanding. With spiritual understanding, I know everything is unfolding for my highest good, right in alignment with our talk today. And our speaker next week will be our own Reverend Neil. And Neil, do you have a title for your talk yet?
Developing your understanding ability.
Oh, I see it now. And we have a few announcements, but remember, we always have lots of wonderful things going on. And so please check your Monday email or go to the website and see everything that is going on. And all of these various classes and Zoom meetings, they're all by a love offering, and we would certainly appreciate that, especially now that we're renting this wonderful facility. And so we want to give a shout out to Morning Cafe because we have added that Saturday at 9:30. We had quite a bit of call for it. It's like, well, what about Saturday morning? And so we've added that. So 9:30 weekdays plus Saturday. And next we have A Course in Miracles. And that's by our own Reverend Neil Worthington. And that is Tuesday, July 6th from 6:30 to 8. And that meets the first and third Tuesdays of the month. And that is quite well attended and wonderful discussion. And next we have the 4-part teaching on the Gospel of Thomas. I believe this is the 3rd one so far. And that is a different Zoom link. So be sure that you check the email to get the correct Zoom link. The first time I went to our Zoom link, and strangely enough, the class wasn't there. The book that this is featured from is Beyond Belief by Elaine Pagels, and it's facilitated by Reverend Greg Carlson. And that also is a love donation. And we have Energy Thursday with Tom. Yay, Tom, for creating this. Thursday, July 8th from 6:30 to 7:30. And this month, the talk will be by Kay Adams on hypnotherapy. So yay, Kay. And PS from Neil.
Just a couple of things. I would remind you that Course in Miracles is a hybrid event. So we will, some of us meet in person at Kay's house, and some of us will meet via the Zoom meeting online. We will love the development of these hybrid activities. I would just note about the Gospel of Thomas. If you have not had an opportunity to sit in, don't let that hold you back. Even with sitting in one session, I'm sure there's much that you will learn, much that will inspire you if you're able to be there. So please do come. And I just want to say again, a happy holiday to all of you, and safe and restful holiday as we celebrate freedom. And that's all I've got. We're going to adjourn, those of us who are here in person, to the lobby where we will be able to circle up and sing the peace song. And then we'll have time to interact with each other, a little bit of social time. If you're online, Donna, I believe, is there. Take an opportunity to chat after we have finished, and make sure that we have your information so we can get information to you about Unity of Payson. So let's adjourn, and in a minute or two, we'll do the peace song.
Okay. Are you needing your bag?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm divinely protected. Nobody's gonna touch it.
Well, whatever. Of course it is. What's your name again? Ed. Ed. Thank you, Ed. Marion. Hi, sweetie. Nice to see you. Your birthday was so much fun.
Good to see you, Jeff. Good, yeah.
All right.
Good to see you. Many blessings.
Good to see you too.
Hi, Rick. I haven't heard you for a long
Tom, if you can spotlight me on the iPad out here, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, let's switch the camera. Okay.
Who knows? They're on the yak.
So let's go ahead and bring it on out. Will Tom go ahead and do the peace song for us, and we will close out our service. And we're out here, and I'm going to turn slowly.
And it's birthday Sunday too.
I'm sorry, Neil, I got the a cappella slide up instead of the one with the back music.
Okay.
So everybody will have to wing it.
So we're going to sing. Here's a couple more coming. We're waiting for a couple more to come, and then we're going to sing a cappella.
We're waiting. Come sing the peace song, dear.
Come on and join us. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous vow. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. And now the prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power.
The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.